Hello again to all and sundry. Welcome back to the Great Partition in Europa Universalis 4. I'm Paragon Saber. Let's dive back into it. So right now, I think the main attractions are this Spanish War of Independence against Sardinia. Though it looks like Morocco is actually looking to take advantage. What? The Gascon-Egyptian Colonial War. Gascony, what have you done? Over Kerma. So Gascony has managed to colonize Daru and now wants to take Kerma and presumably the rest of Papua New Guinea from Egypt. Egypt did colonize that as expected. Right. Okay. That's happened. And Egypt has called in Morocco to defend him. Is anybody else involved? So Kilwa has then jumped on Egypt immediately afterward. Morocco says no way to that. Alrighty then. Or did Kilwa attack Oman? Nope. Kilwa outright attacked Egypt. Fair enough. Odiev, while we weren't looking, has continued to push into Anatolia. Taking, let's see, I think they only had Biga, Sugla, and Chios before, so they took all of this from Karaman, who was allyless, and really, those would be some easy provinces for you to take, Koth, Persia. Of course, you know, they could have overpowered Eretna at any point within the last century. I can't even remember if Eretna was alive 100 years ago. Regardless, Persia could have controlled all of Anatolia by this point easily. Probably could have pushed pretty far into the Balkans. You know, Odiev has generally been fairly well protected. That's a good alliance chain. You know, the main heavy hitters there being Prussia and Gascony. Sicily can help out too. So Persia might have some trouble against that alliance. But they could have destroyed Eretna, destroyed Karaman. Speaking of, there's some Ottoman separatists for Odiev. About the size of Odiev's army at that. But, you know, Persia could have also come in and messed up Venice's day, but they've been very passive. They've taken this land from Egypt. I don't know. Maybe there's something in Persia's code that says you can only attack so far into Anatolia after you've taken X or Y from Egypt. Who knows? Though Persia does appear to be attacking Oman. Egypt probably... Ow. Egypt actually, man, was willing to get themselves involved in that one too. Are they able to still rival Persia? No, they're instead rivaled to Malaya, Gascony, Kilwa, and Alodia is actually able to rival them. Okay, Alodia makes some sense. First I thought it was Mercuria. They have about the same flag. I guess Alodia's has just shifted to the left a little bit. But speaking of Alodia, unless you have a truce, guaranteeing Ethiopia, unless you have a truce with Egypt, now might be the time to jump on him. Just saying. That said, Egypt's army untouched for now. Looks like Kilwa get attacked by Great Britain or something. Nah, they just want to come down and siege this back first. Ziela is a fort, but it's only level 2, so they'll get through that pretty easily. Persia's almost full occupied Oman and are throwing their weight against the Egyptian territories. Or they just peaced out. without Persia taking anything. Persia, what's up with you? You keep, like, white piecing. Taking nothing. Would have thought they might at least take Grana, which is, you know, in the state that Persia owns most of. Nah, nothing? Why? Noticing that, yeah, it looks like Gascony has pushed back Morocco. Their turn to siege all of this down. Spain is probably free of Sardinia now, right? Yes. And they have allied the US. That's fun. The US, who has continued to colonize out west. Looks like this one's next. So maybe... Okay. So they are using both their colonists. I just haven't caught them both at once before. I stand corrected. Manifest Destiny and all that fun stuff. They're leaving a few holes, though. I guess it might not be a bad idea for them to try to get these provinces before the British get there, but that's where they are focusing all three of their colonists. I think the US might get beat to the punch there. They have the Great Basin covering a lot of area. I mean, that's, what, all of Nevada, a lot of Oregon, probably some of Idaho in here, pretty much all of Utah, and a lot of Colorado as well. Though I think Goshute covers, and up into Wyoming as well, I think. But I think, yeah, I think Goshute covers, well, which lake is this? That's the Great Salt Lake, is it not? Yeah. So we do have, presumably, far northwestern Colorado, far southwestern Wyoming, and northeastern Utah covered by this province. But other than that, the Great Basin covers a lot. I guess it would be hard to colonize the Rockies before 1821. It's just, it's not the Great Basin, it's the Rocky Mountains. Why not make it two wasteland provinces, Paradox? Oh boy. Spain is at war with Songhai, and they've managed to do that without drawing Morocco in, thanks to Gascony. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't have deterred Spain if Morocco joined in. It hasn't before. So Egypt managed to get its armies down here and occupy Gascony's colony. Brabant has colonized in Australia, and Gascony actually has some colonies down here as well, though Brunei has managed to get Minang. So no one else is going to actually get an Australian colonial nation, because all of Eastern Australia is colonized, and there are only 5 provinces to colonize in Western and Northern Australia. Okay, so looks like that war has ended. Gascony has taken Kerema, but Egypt is left with the rest of those. Papua New Guinea now semi-evenly split between Malacca, Gascony, and Egypt, though really Egypt still has the majority. Did they lose anything else? Well, they're still at war with Kilwa, and do appear to have a smaller army. Did Morocco lose anything? Doesn't look like it. The AI is so light with their peace deals sometimes, unless it's against the player, and, you know, in that case, it's like, you will cede all of your nation. All of it. But I'm the first great power, all of it. I think things have been pretty much stable over here between Prussia and Poland. Maybe Poland had Ostrod at one time. I don't see any Polish cores on these. So either Poland had them and it was long enough ago that the cores have faded, or they were forced to revoke them in a peace deal, or they never had them in the first place. Those Ottoman separatists are really tearing up Odiev. Is Odiev at war with Eretna or something? No. No, just because those are rebel controlled. You know, that 53,000 would stand a pretty good chance against that 50, considering they don't have a great army. What are you doing, Odiev? Do you want the Ottomans back? Because at this point, you're going to get them. Of course, they will rampage all over. You know, the Ottomans have cores pretty much everywhere in Anatolia. No longer have one on Amasya, but also don't have them on Adana, don't have one on Civis, which is Georgian? Huh. Wonder if Persia's done some culture converting. Yeah, this has all been made Georgian. All the Armenian lands have been made Georgian. But they also accept Azerbaijani. Do I have the culture map mode readily available over here? I don't think I do. I'll go ahead and do this real quick. Let me go ahead and get rid of dynastic. Yeah, so Georgian has expanded quite a bit. Some Mashriki. Syrian, I think, has been reduced, maybe. Baluchi, Tibetan, all of the guys there in Lana, Khalkha, Kamchatkan. A lot of this has been made Muscovite, fair enough. Still have a little bit of Novgorodian up here. None of the England hasn't done any culture conversion. Still have a lot of Francian in here, some Breton, Castilian, Leonese, Galician. I guess Asturias and Cantabria are also Castilian, or maybe Leonese, I'm not sure. They're Castilian. Some Basque, Aragonese, Catalan. Okay, so the cultures appear to be mostly similar to Game Start, with the exceptions of the Georgian and the Muscovite. And yeah, Odiev has let the Ottomans spawn. Well, hello again, Mr. the Kebab. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. And they got the Osmanol glue back. Well, good for them. They're still not the strongest of nations. What's up? Okay. Alright. That was one of my friends who needs to use my printer. Guess we'll take a little break after this episode's over. Anyways, so that's an interesting development. Did say multiple times the Ottomans have cores on all of this, and they're back. Odiev has notably kept Chios. That never taken. I don't think that was ever taken by any of the Turkish nations. Maybe Mentesa or Saruhan had it at one point earlier on. But regardless, the culture's still Greek, so the Ottomans didn't have a core on it. The Aydin tag is still around, but looks like Mentesa's gone. Germion's still around. Kandar, I think, still has some cores up here until 1799. We'll see if the Ottomans can get any good alliances. And Odiev, what are you doing, mate? Is Aretna at war with them now? Yep. Second Odievan Aretnid Imperialist War. Are you gonna just leave your army up here for this one too? Nah, you're gonna walk away. Gonna go all the way around and through Persia or something? Like, I thought your navy was a little better than this at this point. Was I wrong? Is your navy gone? Got 10 ships there, 1 there. Hey, Odiev was hyper competent in the last game I played. They've been anything but this time. But they got Constantinople at least. Looks like Prussia's at war with Saxony, maybe? Saxony's their vassal. Guaranteeing Ulm. They're fighting Magdeburg, Bohemia, Mazovia, Palatinate, Ravensburg, Lubeck. And Magdeburg the target. So they really want that institution province, don't they? The Enlightenment having spawned in Magdeburg. It's not fanatic collectivist, but it'll do. Pretty sure the Space Marines will have no problems with that. Also, it comes to mind that that war that Great Britain had with all of her colonies coincided pretty well with the 7 Years' War. It didn't last quite that long, but nope, there goes most of Songhai. So all three of these nations do still exist, but Janae's only got 2 provinces, Kong's only got 1, and Songhai still has a few, but I mean, they can't offer any meaningful resistance. I mean, Morocco's not even going to protect Songhai. So the only thing protecting Songhai then is a truce. Interesting alliance with Kilwa, though. I think Morocco might be done with Egypt. Aha! So they waited, but the Coptics have gone after Egypt, assuming Egypt wasn't the aggressor. Okay, so Egypt was the aggressor here. They attacked Ethiopia, calling in their guarantor, Alodia. Anybody have a tech advantage? Egypt does. Okay. So this one, barring some really bad luck with sieges, I think, we'll be going to Egypt. Because a 2 tech difference, whenever Egypt decides to engage, Alodia should lose pretty hard. But the occupation's definitely favoring Alodia and Ethiopia for now. Lana seems to be pretty badly tied up by Bengal. Bengal is a 2-province minor, a separated 2-province minor at that, and it looks like Japan? Wow. So, did Japan ally Bengal? And there's Britain going for Rising Sun. Okay. Alright, so why are they helping out Bengal? Because Bengal was a vassal of Lanna and wanted independence. Why is Japan involved, though? Also, Japan is involved while their home islands are getting sieged down by, you know, only about 55,000 Englishmen. Or rather, Brits. They are Great Britain. I would do well to remember that. Alodia has continued to occupy, though they might have lost a battle in there somewhere. I don't know. If Egypt keeps their guys separated, Alodia might have a chance. You know, if they send that guy way up there and leave this guy able to be picked off. If I were Alodia, I'd go for that battle. I mean, being in a war against somebody 2 military techs ahead is an issue. But were I forced into that war, there's Austria and Deccan. Austria freeing up its 22,000 men by fighting Madurai again while we weren't looking. Lanna has some Jharkhandi separatists, but those actually spawned from Bengal. Okay, so Japan is out of this war. Looks like Bengal is content to remain a vassal. And the British have taken a lot of Honshu. Japan's still left with a few of these guys over here, and do retain Kyoto, which is 41 development now, but British Japan. Probably going to be finished before the campaign is over. Malaya has been so passive. They've let Gascony come in here and take, not only colonize Lombok, but take all of this stuff from Tidor. Alrighty then. Though Tidor has occupied their Australian colonies. Odiev finally has its troops down south, but they're just sieging back Edirne, which they allowed Eretna to siege. They actually assaulted it. Got a wall breach. Looks like they are going to manage to cross the Bosporus. Maybe they'll get territorial gains in Anatolia again. Still can't believe they just let the Ottomans free. This is probably one of those situations where it would make a lot more sense for this to be released as just Turkey. You know, but really, how is the game supposed to prepare for somebody reducing the Ottomans to 4 provinces in 1444? You know, maybe the Osmanoglu did remain an influential family in all of these beyliks. But I feel like in this case, it might not be the Ottoman Empire that was given back. I think it would be more along the lines of just Turkey. But, so it goes. Probably attacking... It's probably an imperialist war. No, it's a reconquest of Hamid. I guess reconquest... I mean, the Ottomans do have cores all over this, and reconquest wars are only 25% aggressive expansion. The Ottomans are going to need a wall breach, though, to get anywhere on the siege of Isel. Even rolling a 12, not going to help. And that's rough. So the Ottomans might be kind of hamstrung by the fact that they can't occupy the forts, and you know, I don't know if Karaman is going to allow them to take this, even with high ticking war score, because of the you can't take land without sieging down forts modifier. Would probably be easier for the Ottomans to try to siege down the capital there in Karaman instead, but looks like Odiev, have you just let Eretna go? Nah, you're just gonna go ahead and focus on taking back Abkhazia instead, aren't you? No. You have no clue where you're going. Gonna try to siege down Sinope. Guess you have a better shot at it than the Ottomans do at sieging down Isel. Barely. Oh look, they get the insta-wall breach again. What is it with Odiev and getting these instant wall breaches on these level 8 forts? The Ottomans are probably still at negative 100. Yep. And the siege has been going for over 2 years. No progress. Meanwhile, Odiev gets great progress on all of its siege ticks. I mean, even a supply shortage is good when you're that far into the negatives. To say nothing of a wall breach. Spain going after Morocco. Yeah, looks like they've attacked Morocco directly, and that does bring in Kilwa. Also, Spain has some Hawaiian separatists? Hausan. I don't even recall a Hausa tag. Regardless, they've got more than enough troops to handle whatever they need to handle. Looks like Kong has been annexed by Spain. They were in Sarmaganda, and Spain is coring that. So took him out as a non-co-belligerent, presumably. Man. Okay, so from what I can tell, Egypt failed to take Sadamo, failed to annex Ethiopia. But I don't know. Did Alodia actually take some land? These are territorial cores. It could very well be. I know they didn't take anything up here. Also, Egypt has been very content to just let Makuria be. I mean, I guess they are Sunni. They released Sunni, as both Khazar Ibrim and Wadi Halfa are Sunni provinces now. But and Khazar Ibrim is now 18 development. It's pretty good. Egypt still has some particularists over here in their Arabian provinces. Might be tough for them. I mean, Egypt has to have a good navy. They have to be able to defend their provinces in Indonesia or Oceania, but they're going to have to get that navy up here because they no longer have a land connection to these provinces. Lanna's mandate suffering. They do have tributaries in Arakan, Sukhothai, and Liang, but, well, they border Delhi, and Wu, and Khmer, all of which are decreasing that mandate very quickly. And there's some Maratha separatists that have spawned in Austria's newly conquered Indian lands, and Delhi has revolutionaries. Delhi has 59... let's call it 60, 113, 133. My lord, Delhi has almost 180,000 revolutionaries. Their army right now is only 29,000. Will we see revolutionary Delhi? That'd be fun. And looks like Odeyev is attacking the Ottomans. They want all those back. They do have cores on... Were they able to get cores on everything? It looks like they keep cores on some of these lands. They called in Sicily to help. Huh. And Karaman jumping on him as well. Or is that part of the same war? Yeah. So Odeyev jumps on the Ottomans, and then Karaman just uses that to strike back. Hamid re-sieged. Sicily is looking to get a stack wipe here. Or maybe they'll just... Oh, and it's Karaman that gets the stack wipe on the Ottomans. The Ottomans who got what province as their capital? Hudvendigar? Vega? Ankara? No, Kutaya. Guess that is pretty central. No wonder they wanted Hamid back. Occupations being kind of shared in between Odeyev and... Oh, hey, there we go. So Odeyev has just taken the western Anatolian coast down to Teke. And Karaman just fine with piecing them out. So the Ottomans still alive. They have 5 provinces there in central Anatolia, but do lose their entire coastline, except for the little bit in Hudvendigar, to Odeyev. And Gascony is fighting Egypt again. We see Malaya with a 46 stack over here, presumably attacking Egypt on Gascony's side. Gascony, you are allied with Malaya, yes? Yep. As well as the US, Odeyev, the Pope, and Sardinia. Formerly master of Spain, Sardinia. Sofala has been nearly fully annexed by Great Britain. And is this another colonial war started by Gascony? Yep. Which one's the war goal this time? Hanuabada. So, not there. It's probably just... Yeah, it's this one. There's that sound again. I have no clue what that means. Tidor, I mean, for one, Gascony allowed them to keep Timor, so that's nice of them. But they have colonized most of the Philippines, though Sulu has actually taken Manila and Palawan from turn 8. Regardless, that would be the timer. The year is now 1778, and I need to let my friend print off his stuff. Thank you all for watching. I've been Paragon Saber. This has been the Great Partition. Have a good one.